Good evening. We do not have a member of the Minister Alliance with us this evening, so please stand with me for a moment of silence. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I call the August 18th, 2025 Board of Aldermen meeting to order. City Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Pam Pope,
Here.
Shane Shawbaker,
Here.
Rachel Kilmer,
Here.
Melissa Johnson, Tracy Newcomer,
Here.
Kelly Netto,
Here.
and Mayor Dana Webb.
Here, thank you. The next item on the agenda is new business, deletions, or continuances. We do not have any of those this evening, so we will move on to public comments. City Clerk, do we have any public comments?
There are none.
Thank you. The next item on the agenda is a consent agenda. These items are considered on the consent agenda so that members of the Board of Aldermen, by unanimous consent, can designate routine items to be approved by one motion. Tonight, we have approval of the August 4th, 2025 Special Board of Aldermen meeting minutes and approval of the August 4th, 2025 Board of Aldermen meeting minutes, expenditures through August 13th, 2025, and the July 2025 financial statement.
I make a motion we approve the consent agenda. Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. The next item on the agenda is unfinished business. We do not have any unfinished business tonight, so we'll move on to new business. Our first item of new business is a discussion, consideration, and possible action regarding a special event permit application from Oak Grove School District. Kim, do you have a report?
Yes, so we received the special event permit application from the Activities Director, Ryan Schartz, requesting the homecoming parade Friday, September the 19th at 2 o'clock, and that would follow the same route that they did last year. And then Wednesday, September the 17th, would be the bonfire, the traditional bonfire. They have a new parking lot at the high school now, so they are just requesting that they move the bonfire from the original location a little bit further north. It's going to be in the detention basin area, but there it's going to be roped off. The kids are going to be on the, or students and people will be on the asphalt area for the bonfire. They won't be down in the grassy area.
Okay. Anything else?
I did talk to Cam Caffey over at the fire department, and he was fine with that. Just wanted to make note of the overhead lines that are closer to the road.
Very good.
Other than that, there was no problems.
Board, we have Oak Grove School District here tonight. If you have any questions, it's open for discussion or questions at this time.
I mean, Chief, did you have any concerns with how the parade went last year?
No, we had some discussion in regards to the 12th and 11th Street, and I think those were addressed in the sense that everyone will take the same route. So,
Okay.
I don't have any, hesitation.
All right, I'm looking for a motion.
I make a motion that we approve the special event permit for both for the homecoming parade and the bonfire.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the special use permit for Oak Grove School District for the homecoming parade and bonfire. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. The next item on the agenda is discussion, consideration, and possible action regarding a request to amend Section 210.180, endangering the welfare of a child, to include the parent-guardian truancy responsibility. Chief?
thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Board. This is bringing it back in front of you from the last meeting or 2 meetings ago in regards to adding the parent aspect of this for the compulsory attendance and ensuring that we have an action to take when all other avenues fail. One of the questions that was asked were surrounding districts, and so you've noticed, or if you have seen the packet, I've added the 8 other jurisdictions that have added this to their ordinances as well, all in a different way of saying it, but all saying the same thing, under the endangering, or even some under the curfew violations, curfew being during the day when they should be in school. And so I wanted to present those, as well as a lot of this takes place before the police department would become involved or before an officer would. And Mrs. Hampton being here this evening provides the opportunity to allow her to answer any questions you have in how this would be handled and how this would benefit those students that are truly struggling and those students that need that motivation to be there. And if that parent is failing to do that, then we have to hold the adult accountable for that child's well-being. So happy to answer any questions, or Mrs. Hampton, I'm sure, would be happy to answer any questions.
Very good. Thank you, Chief. Mindy, if you don't mind coming up, I know last time, the meeting, they did have some questions, so if you'll just, or both of you come up and, yeah, thank you for being here this evening.
Thank you.
So I know Chief has shared some things, but from our point of view, so truancy has been, attendance has been a major issue post-COVID. So our biggest thing is we've been having big attendance drives, trying to ensure that student attendance is adequate. State of Missouri says it should be 90% of our students, 90% of the time. So we make all of our policies off of that 90%, which is 8 days they can miss first semester, 8 days they can miss second semester. Obviously, we work with families, there's things that come up, big sicknesses, illnesses, obviously we're gonna work, but those 8 days will just become unaccounted for. This is not that at all. These are kids who have had 60%, 50% attendance. These are families that we've reached out to multiple times. We've tried to have meetings, we've sent our SROs, we've sent our social workers to their house, we've had meetings with the kids. We've tried to work with the families on attendance incentives, and we're getting no avail. And so our social workers go to other social workers, conferences, and been trying to, what are you guys doing? What are great, better ideas? What are we doing wrong? What are we missing? And that's when they said, well, we have the truancy piece. When we are at that exhaustion point, we reach out to our SRO, our local police, and things to it. And so I asked Jacob to come to kind of talk about those numbers and what they look like for you a little bit better, because we're not here to write tickets and ask for tickets to be written to every single parent all the time. These are these exhausting situations where we have run out of all of our resources possible over months of time. So let me talk.
Just looking back over the course of the last few years, we've had around 30 to 40 kids who have parents who sign them out homeschool. And that's as we have pushed to try and get them to school and the fight to get kids back to school from COVID. And we just continue to hit a roadblock.
Can
That roadblock comes after.
What does that mean, sign them out to homeschool? Like pull them
They
from,
will
okay,
unenroll them from our school.
I just wanna clarify,
And
okay.
in the state of Missouri, they can just sign homeschool for me.
and that's it, okay, okay, thank you.
Or not, and that's what we don't want.
Right.
We don't want kids to go sit at home and cause issues throughout the community, items like that. And so this will be a clearly defined process where we are communicating with the student first, face to face. You missed 5, 6, 7 days, however many days, here's your attendance, we need you here. Talk to them, and then communicate with the parent, sharing our concern, our hope and push to try to get them back to school. And that will also be accompanied by letters home, and then visits from us home to try to make contact, visit from Officer Marshall, Officer Levine, home to try to make contact. And then it would proceed to a youth court referral for the student. If we cannot get them back to school, contacting the DFS. All of those would take place prior to where I would be talking to Rob Jason as I think we've exhausted all options. But it's really time that we've got to get this parent on board because if they answer to show up to the meeting, they don't answer the phone, they don't answer the door. And that's what we don't want to have. We've hit that roadblock during my first 5 years. Last spring, we finally had a big win, and that was DFS was switched to Lafayette County. We now immediately answers. That happened. Had DFS answer because Jackson County was so overwhelmed. And so last spring, working with Lafayette County DFS, they immediately, they would call me and give me their cell phone numbers, follow up. we're bluffing to try to get these people back to school, and it was the same thing for them. Where in Washington County, they're very different. Their policies have been in place for a long time, where their juvenile officer was issuing these citations and helping hold adults responsible and get these back to school. So that's our goal.
And we went back and kind of looked at last year, and if something like this were in place, we would have requested this less than 20 times, less than 5. So it truly is a last exhaustion. I mean, we're still trying to do all the pieces we can, and a last exhaustion in the fact that we're trying to collaborate with families. We don't want to have to say, okay, now we're trying to alert law enforcement, but sometimes it is that absolute last resort. And we know, and what's best for kids for them to be there at that point, the relationship with the parent probably isn't in place. So it is very minimal amount of time that it would ever be used. But that's just one of the suggestions we got when we reached out to other communities and other schools and said, like, we fill out a loss, we have nothing left to do, what are you guys doing? And this was one that they said that was helping. And so that's when we reached out and just kind of started having the conversations of, is this a possibility, something more further we need to take place.
And I think if we share that this is, we want to partner with you, we care about your students, we want to get them back to school. We don't want to take it to this extreme. And our SROs are sharing that same, and parent from DFS, that hopefully it will pick up if folks are expecting.
So the majority, I'm sorry if I may ask.
No,
the
you go ahead.
majority of
Time
these
for
kids
discussion.
are, in their parents' opinion, homeschooled?
No, they're starting to, that's one of the things, that is one of the things we're seeing. The harder we have been on chasing kids down for truancy, then parents are saying, we don't want you bothering us, we're signing out and choosing homeschool. And we don't want that to happen, we want the better partnership, trying to prevent them from doing that. These are current enrolled pro students
Okay.
who have chronic absenteeism, and it's not related to a death or an illness or something legit that we know is going on. It's just kids who are missing 20, 30 days a semester with no phone call. We can't get hold of them, we can't get hold of a parent.
Okay, so it's not, we're not talking about homeschool kids, we're talking about, okay.
So once they file the homeschool thing, you guys are kind of, you can't do anything. It's whether, okay. I have a couple.
I identified 10, 15, looking at our overall attendance from last year, that has a potential to get to that, but I could not see it getting more than 3, 4, 5 students
There's
potentially.
a few more at the middle and high school,
Yeah.
that it tends to be a little more heavier than elementary and primary, but, like I said, I mean, 20 is just a ballpark number that it wouldn't be abused, it wouldn't be used very often, but sometimes in that process, when we do talk with parents, be able to say, we're trying to form this relationship and make this process so that we don't have to turn you in for that ticket too. So,
Now, with this, sorry, the homeschooling thing, I didn't see anything really in the paperwork there. It's not going to prevent homeschooling or prevent anybody who's being homeschooled from doing anything they normally do, right?
And the reason for him stating that is we're trying to put things in place, and we are trying to keep kids out of growth school. We don't want parents signing out and just homeschooling because they're frustrated with us as we're bringing down their child or attendance. So we're trying to do some attendances, we're trying to get ahead of some attendance things, rather than the chronic absenteeism. But that's one of the things that we just noticed in the past few years is absentee gets bad, kids get behind, we start calling parents, they get frustrated, and they're signing out for homeschool. We're trying to put some things in place to get ahead of that, so the kids aren't just signing out homeschool because of
I guess my concern is that, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but like, assume it's typically kind of economically disadvantaged kids that this is happening with. And so slapping a citation on top of maybe a single parent that works shift work on, it just feels like, does that actually solve anything? Or does that exacerbate the problem that they have in their home? I mean, are there studies, like, is there like data about this, about how effective it is? Or are you aware of it? I mean, and it looks like most of the other districts, their wording is not really specifically to truancy, it's more crime or endangerment. So I just don't see, I don't know, I guess, have there been studies done on this? Is there data? Is there anything like hard to show that this actually benefits the kid rather than just making the family in more of a place of distress,
Well, and that's one of the things that with our social workers, one of the big pushes that they have. These are some of the things they're trying to connect with families prior to that even. So no, I don't have any data or anything to show in regard to that. Obviously, this isn't we're out to get anybody.
Right.
It's just, I mean, we are at a very last standstill when kids miss 30, 40 days of school and they're sophomore and have 0 credits. Like at some And so at some point, our job is just going to advocate for that child.
Can I like where you went with that, because that was going to be my question, is does this work in other districts? But now it's kind of flipped, and now I've forgotten it.
It's
It's
okay.
gone. It's
While you're thinking
completely
about
gone.
that, while you're thinking about that, this is more of a chief question. So let's say this citation is issued, the person continues to be unresponsive. Presumably, that I have to assume that's usually the most likely outcome. How far does this escalate? You know, what kind of citation is this? Is this a court summons? Is this if
Oh,
they
by all means,
continue to
yep.
ignore it? Is it jail time? Like, what does this look like in practicality?
You know, anytime in receiving a citation like this, it is an infraction that's going to require them to appear in court. And so that grows if they fail to appear, or if they fail to follow the directions of the court, or if they fail to work with whatever supervision may be put in place to guide them. Because Judge Helm or whomever may be sitting on the bench isn't going to just put this as a fine. He's going to want to see that progress is made. Because this isn't, well, somewhat like if you get a speeding ticket, prove to us that you can adhere to this by not getting another speeding ticket and doing the right thing when you're driving a car. Well, it's the same thing in monitoring a child or raising a child. Prove to us you're going to do the right thing and correct this. And there's going to be those determinants that are set by the court. Now, it would grow if they continue to be a problem, but that's also by the court.
And so can the court get involved with custody based on this?
No.
No, that's a
No.
whole different thing.
Yeah, that would be putting that in the family court realm.
Okay.
They would have to take it completely out of this setting and put it into family court, and I'm not sure of their ability to do that.
Okay.
Unless this exposes some other problem, that
Right,
there's a
that's what I
danger
was
to the
gonna say,
child, that we would have had to have taken that action ourselves.
Even before that, we would have done a home visit with our social
Yeah.
workers.
They'd already be on the radar.
So
Yeah.
if there was a danger there, maybe it has something to be involved, that would have happened already before this even.
Got it.
And that's why when we get to these levels of concern, it's where we do home visits with our social workers, our SRO, and our administration, because what can we do to help? How do you need help? Do you need transportation help? Do we need food help? Do we need connections in the community for government assistance and whatever we can do to help? We're already trying to do all of that with the family. And that is why we initiate those home visits or the meetings well before any of this. We did that 5, 6, 7 absent with no, and we're talking about absences with no phone calls.
Right.
No communication.
Yeah, just, and then we're talking 15, 20 per semester. So we're talking. And we have done our due diligence for sure. Like,
Right.
I said, I don't know what the goal is, partner with families. Always our goal.
Back to when you were asking Chief, let's use our resource. We do have our city attorney here. Jackson, would you like to comment on what was being discussed a moment ago?
Mayor, what was being said by the chief is correct, right? This can escalate in court, right, as if you fail to appear, but there is always the risk that you run when you're issuing citations that people don't do anything with those citations. Think of a nuisance abatement citation, for example. People can, not abate the nuisance and things have to escalate. I'd have to look more at the specific state statute and kind of figure out what those next steps are. But in terms of next steps with this ordinance, or with drafting anything, we could try to find a way to put some kind of guardrail in for when people aren't responsive to the first citation, second citation, et cetera.
Thank you, Jackson.
I assume there's a paper trail that you guys have a file on all these kids. And then you mentioned Lafayette County has been really easy to work with. Are they able to work in Oak Grove, that's Jackson County, only if they're in Lafayette County? Okay.
I'm shaking my head.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
listening. Okay, I don't work in Lafayette County.
Yes.
Okay. I mean, I don't mean to be a problem with this at all, but I just fear that this is just going to cause more problems for families that already are at a disadvantage. And just based on the wording that I'm seeing from the other communities, it's not as punitive sounding as ours is, as our proposed wording is. I mean, I definitely could be on my own here, but I still don't feel great about it. I don't know. With just not having any data or any, I don't know. I mean, how are you guys feeling about it?
Stay right there as they
Yeah.
discuss. Ladies and man,
I think
Any-
that,
any
I mean,
input?
I completely understand what you're saying, and I can see how you get there, and I totally understand. But I am so naive, I had no idea that you guys did home visits. It just has never been in my realm. And I think if I ever got to the point where, like, you showed up at my front door, I mean, I would be fixing that situation, right? Like the one hesitation I have, and maybe you do, but is there okay, step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5, like, is there somewhere written where it is consistent, where there's a standard operating procedures of before we get to this? Right, because it is probably case by case.
It is.
Yeah,
People have kids with chronic illnesses, or if
Right.
a situation come up, or, there's so many gray one areas,
Mhm.
and it's just communication.
Mhm.
And so the idea that, if you miss your 8 days, that you're gonna get parents to get fully out of it.
Right, no.
Absolutely not. And we're even trying to do it some incentives, at middle school and high school, to be able to go to the dances, you have to have a certain
Yeah.
attendance. So we're trying to make it more, and we implemented this as a trial last year at middle school, and kids were like checking every day what their attendance is. And those are good attendance, right? And we're not even talking 70%
Right.
higher attendance, we're talking below that,
Yeah.
70% attendance.
Yeah.
And at the secondary level, obviously, then that affects behavior, it's affecting credits and graduation. And so it's a spiral effect. And so that's why as a district last year, we really pushed attendance, K-12, and really trying to build those positive habits in kindergarten and in first grade with those parents to know and understand. Because we've had a lot of parents say, well, I didn't realize it was important to send my kid to school every day. And trying to get them to understand that they're missing out on instruction-wise and also socially. And then that just snowballs into when they're older and they're bigger. A lot of times it's kids who are frustrated, whether it's socially rapid and or behaviorally at the secondary level. And that parent fight, that parent argue of sending my kid to school and the parent loses hope. I can just imagine envision this. And so how that's where we're trying to work with the parent and say, we've had parents before, we said, if you are trying to get them up, they won't come call us. We'll come help you get back to your house. Like, and that's another, so you do have parents who want to work with
Yes,
us
yeah,
out
yeah.
and we'll say, call us. And we've gone before with our SRO to help that teenage boy get out of bed.
Oh, that's such good information to have.
And that's the parent working with us.
Right.
But then we have the ones who won't return a phone call, won't return a letter, won't return an email, we don't come doors, they don't answer, and it becomes then a safety and a concern on the student. And so, and obviously coming to school, we provide free transportation, we provide breakfast, lunch, there's a lot of resources we can give kids when they're at school, mental health services, and when they're not there, and they're economically disadvantaged.
You don't know.
They're not there. So the best place at that point is at school. And so to answer your question, and I get where you're coming from, but I go back to our job is to serve students, partner with families, but at the point that the parent isn't willing to partner with us, our job is for student protection. And we feel like this might be a way to help parents understand the importance of making sure students attend school.
Yeah.
And I feel confident sharing that every student I've worked with that has gotten to this level knows they should be, but they also know they don't have to. There's no one behind them saying, you've got to, this is what's important.
And some families who've said, are you gonna do that? And they're right, we don't have anything in hand. We've exhausted all of our options. And so in those few situations, to be able to say, unfortunately, at this point, I have to turn it over to local police department for the truancy laws.
Right.
And we never want that to be a threat, it has to be that last option. And our hope is, if there's 10 kids that we are losing, maybe this will bring it back. If it does,
Great.
then we get 3 more kids in our work.
Working with Officer Marshall, working with Officer Levine, I know both of them in their judgment, they're going to say, okay, what steps have we taken? Can you show that? And they're going to be involved long before that anyway, so they're going to be aware of it, following us, partnering with us throughout the process as well. So their judgment will also be taken into account there as well.
I just wish we had like data on it, like I wish there was, someone had done a study, because I'm just thinking if we have this absentee parent that's just unwilling to engage, unwilling to talk on the phone, unwilling to do anything, slapping a citation on them, is that
May
gonna
not do
change?
anything.
Yeah,
May not do anything.
other
But
than,
there may be a few that it does.
yeah, that
Who
makes
are
sense.
willing. And I think
Yeah.
that's the route we're looking for. There's not a fix-all.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a nationwide, attendance in
Yeah.
schools is a nationwide issue. And in Missouri, Missouri's put a lot of focus on it too. But I think our hope is there's a few that in the past that we could sit down and talk about and say, yeah, if I'd had that, this parent would have been alone. They want patient at the door.
Right.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
And so they may have been a little bit more willing to work with us and get their kid to school. But
Yeah.
But this really aligns with the state law, correct? Like, City of Oak Grove isn't just creating this, and you know what I mean? Like, we are, is that right? Is that correct?
Yes,
Thank you.
that is correct,
Okay,
yeah.
Okay, so it's not, yeah, it's not like we're just, yeah, okay.
And most of this is defined in our attendance policy that we created for this school year that includes the compulsory attendance law for the state of Missouri. And it's worded in our attendance policy.
It's in there.
Nice.
I think it's sad that it has come to this. Like, it's heartbreaking to me to hear that this is a situation that we are in. And I have had to fight both of my children to get into school, sometimes at weeks at a time. So I understand where you just feel like you are completely lost and there's no way for you to win. So I see all sides of it, but I think that it's a good process to begin and go from there. So I'm in favor of it.
I still don't feel great about it, but I trust you guys and your leadership. And I think that our kids are in good hands with you guys, and I trust that you guys want to use it, and like, we'll use it, you know, I trust with you guys, so.
And we can visit it at any point in time too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Something
right.
that we can look at and revisiting at any time, how we're doing the process that we're doing, and what that looks like, and share.
Very good. Maybe some of the data,
Yeah, I'd
Would
love to
be-
see
would
numbers
be
on it.
helpful.
Eventually.
if there's a way to
I mean,
populate it.
even revisiting it next summer and just how it went. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Any other discussion?
So just to clarify, if next summer we circle back and we see the data and we're like, you know, we did this 10 times and only one of them wasn't effective and 2 of them then had court fees piling up, can we rescind the wording at a later time if we feel like it's not effective?
I think
Well,
we can
we
adjust
could, we could
it.
amend the ordinance.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
We would need to have good, solid data and chief reporting in.
Yeah.
As well.
That's my one thing, is I would love to just circle back up on it next summer, just look at the numbers and make sure that we're all on the same page, that it's working, causing more good than harm.
And if I may add, that we have not worded this, wordsmith this at all, so Jackson and his office would be instrumental in providing that. So I'm just giving you the groundwork of it,
Sure.
or
Just
out
discussing
of
it.
state statute, so.
Yeah, I was going to add that as well. It's important to remember, we're just talking about taking possible action, right? So you can recommend city staff, myself, and Chris to go in and try to craft something that works for everybody, right? Where we take care of the concerns of the school district, but also try to craft it in a way that we're not going to go after economically disadvantaged folks as well.
You will see this again. This will
yeah.
come back as an ordinance for you to vote on.
It's reads more like the ones that you like the cities that you like, how they worded it, where it's closer to that rather than.
More tied to crime than, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, we'll leave that up to
yeah.
Jackson and their firm to work with chief to word that.
Sure.
And then, yes, it'll be back on the agenda at another date for an ordinance. And then you can have discussion again at that time. And just as you all know, there's been times when those ordinances are sent back again to be rewritten as well, so.
I have a
But,
question.
yes.
Hampton, are you on any kind of timeline here? Is this a problem with school policy, with school starting in 2 days? Or you can adjust?
It's just an added layer of options that we have in our
Okay.
attendance policy. Yeah.
Very good.
No, it just, it would change, maybe if we get, once approved and finalized, change the approach for the parent.
Right.
At a certain point
Okay.
in our
It's there.
contacts, to be able to say, then, this will be our last contact with you after this, there's no improvement.
So at this point, I'm looking for a possible motion to consider this action.
A motion? Okay. I
we
make
wanna
a
mo-
motion that we begin working closely with the Oak Grove School District to,
So, this is not an ordinance. If you see the title, if each of you are willing to move forward, then I would need a motion on this agenda item. If not, then we move on.
yes, I make a motion that we amend section
you go.
210.180 by working with the Oak Grove School District in the most positive way for everyone. I don't, yeah.
Yeah, that was tough, Kelly.
Jackson, just to be clear, I just need a motion on what's more or less stated on the agenda item, correct?
Correct, yeah.
Okay,
And
that's
and
all
part
I
of that
need at
motion
this
can be
point.
to direct city staff to amend
Because then he's going to take it and go from there. So more or less just almost what it says on the agenda item.
Okay. I make a
Try again.
motion to direct city staff to work with the school district to amend section 210.180, endangering the welfare of a child, to include parent and guardian truancy responsibility.
I second.
We have a motion and a second regarding the request to amend section 210.180 of endangering the welfare of a child to include parent and guardian truancy responsibility. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
It's my first time.
Thank you for coming tonight.
Thank you
for
so much for your
explaining
information, guys.
in more detail. The next item on the agenda is discussion, consideration, and possible action regarding the Missouri Blue Shield grant application request to purchase radios. Chief?
Thank you, Mayor. May of 2025, the City of Oak Grove and the Police Department submitted the Blue Shield grant application, in which we were designated a Blue Shield recipient city. This is through a new program for Governor Kehoe. And with that came the promise, if you will, that there would be money released in the coming year to be used by those Blue Shield designated departments. Last month, they released up to $50,000 in grant reimbursement funds for only those departments that had the designation. If you could show cause for what you were going to use it for training or equipment. So these were a lot of conversations that we had within the department, because initially, I'm kind of grasping at, boy, it'd be nice to have this, be nice to have that. But I had to kind of back up and say, what is it that keeps the command staff and the supervisors awake at night? Where is our weakest link? And that truly is the malfunctioning and degrading of about half of our radios. These are our portable radios that are assigned to and worn by the officers on the road. We have been able to replace some over the years, just like last year we had purchased 3. Years before that, we had purchased 1 or 2 here and there, but we have 12 of those that have reached a life cycle that can no longer be repaired, can no longer be sent to Cominco or Motorola because the parts just don't exist. Where internal programming has been updated, the bodies and the casings of them themselves are just giving out. And so I'm requesting in consideration for replacing 12 of the department's 24 radios. Would come to a total of $69,000, $50,000 of that being reimbursed by the Blue Shield grant. And I'm looking for that authorization to apply for that grant. Once approved for that grant, which is supposed to be somewhere around October 1, we would readdress the board and request that authorization then to amend the budget for the PD to cover those radios, $50,000 again out of that $69,000. And with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you, Chief.
Congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
That's wonderful. So this is just basically giving you approval to apply for the
Yes, for the
reimbursement. Okay.
$50,000.
Okay.
The 12 that you're replacing, are they, as in you're replacing junk, as in you don't even use them anymore, or they're just not very good and we'd still have them?
They would be turned in with, there's a replacement or a turn-in bonus, I hate to say bonus, credit that we would receive. This is a sole source purchase from Cominco or the Motorola Corporation. So they would then take whatever remaining parts they could from those radios. We're doing everything we can to make sure that an officer never goes out with a dysfunctional radio as it is. Because I'm giving up my radio, the captain gives up his, and we take the second rate ones to make sure that the best ones are out on the road.
It's
Yeah.
like getting a new phone.
Yeah, so the trade-in value of the current ones, is that going to go towards that 19 and some change? Or
No,
is that
that's
part of
already
it?
included in the bid
50?
itself.
Oh, as in it was higher and now it's 69 after the,
Yeah, if you look at the last item on there is portable, no, I'm sorry, that's the batteries. Seemed like there was a base, was there a turn-in for that?
No, there's no, these radios are out of service, and they're no longer serviceable. They don't even want them back. What we'll do, we will hold on.
Oh,
So
okay.
That amount is the amount to replace those radios, but we're going to keep the radios we have because everybody's fighting for these parts. So we're gonna salvage what we can, keep the other 12 radios functional until we replace those down the road.
Perfect.
Very good.
That was the initial, that's.
I was coming at you with body cameras originally, and the body cameras,
You're okay. Thank you,
That's
Captain.
exactly what I need you to know. Thank you.
yeah.
I make a motion to approve the application for the Missouri Blue Shield Grant.
I second that.
We have a motion and a second to, in regards to the Blue Shield grant application for portable radios. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. The next item on the agenda is discussion, consideration, and possible action regarding the mayoral reappointment of Shelby Fletchall to the Park Board. Shelby has served on the Park Board ever since I was elected mayor. She is a valuable Park Board member, and her term is up, and I've asked her to be reappointed, and she said yes. So I am asking for approval, please.
I'll make a motion to approve the reappointment of Shelby Fletchell to the Park Board.
A second.
We have a motion and a second to approve Shelby Fletchall to the Park Board. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. The next item on the agenda is discussion, consideration, and possible action regarding the 2026 Traffic Engineering Assistance Program. Matt?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. So staff is asking permission to apply for a Traffic Engineering Assistance Program grant, or a TEAP grant, through MoDOT. The Traffic Engineering Assistant Grant provides local governments with professional traffic engineering studies aimed primarily at addressing safety and operational concerns. If selected for the grant, you have to use a pre-approved list of engineers provided by MoDOT. Typical projects that have been eligible and approved before include corridor and intersection safety and operational analysis. A total of $120,000 is available statewide for this program cycle. Each project may get up to $12,000. So if each project does the full amount, that would be 10 projects in the state. But we still would like to put in our ask. It is an 80-20, so 80% of the cost is covered by the grant, 20% is local match, up to that $12,000. So we would be applying for $15,000. $12,000 of that would be a reimbursable grant, with $3,000 would be a local match. The area that we're requesting the corridor study and operational engineering analysis be conducted is Broadway between 4th and 5th Street, and including the intersections. As you may recall, in the 2023 comprehensive plan, that was a priority intersection for us to look at. So we're trying to get some engineering dollars here to help look at it. So with that, be happy to answer any questions the board may have.
Thank you, Matt. Any
So
questions? Go ahead.
Sorry, so the dollar amount is literally just for the engineering of it, no like actual physical
Correct.
changes?
Yep. Yeah, just for the engineering of what they find. They might do a traffic analysis. They might look at, ADA compliant sidewalks. There's a current signalized intersection there, so they may look at, does that signalized intersection need to be updated if 4th or 5th Street perhaps is get realigned, or maybe there's other ways to look at that intersection, or both those intersections. The application is due at the end of this month, the award announcement end of September, and then their anticipation that the engineering would be completed by May of next year.
That's quick.
Yeah, that'd be huge.
I'm really glad that I looked into this. It's a popular, heavy traffic area.
Very dangerous.
I make a motion to approve the application request for the 2026 Traffic Engineering Assistance Program.
I second that.
We have a motion and a second regarding the application for the 2026 Traffic Engineering Assistance Program. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. The next item on the agenda is discussion, consideration, and possible action regarding the White Oaks Lift Station change order. Chris, you're up.
Thank you, Mayor. So back on March 3rd, the board approved approximately $477,000 for the demolition and replacement of the lift station. Since construction has moved forward, we've identified a need for an additional manhole and about 80 feet of sewer main to properly connect the existing sewer line. The adjustment was not included in the original 2022 design plans. However, as work has progressed, it became clear that the addition is critical to ensure the new lift station operates and is designed and provides no issues in the future. The financial impact is about $44,140. This isn't an extra feature, it's a necessary correction to make sure the project is completed properly and efficiently.
Very good, Chris. And you're going with on the design where the red line is, the straight shot, right?
Yes, so
And from the
it's,
12-inch to the 10-inch.
yes, ma'am.
Okay, very good.
I had a question as to why we go down to 10-inch. I'm just,
So it was originally, it already is a 10-inch. What they thought it was a 12-inch until we went down and measured it, and it's only a 10-inch that's already coming into that side.
I see,
So they did not quite know that it was 12-inch at the time.
I see.
So that's why we're going back down to a 10-inch, because that's what it already is, and that's what is efficient flow. So there's no reason to go to a 12.
And so this is an existing line that's just in need of replacement.
So there's an existing line coming in, but in the 2022 design, there was no flow through it, so they thought it was an abandoned line at the time. So that's why it wasn't included when they did the drawing. But since the new construction started going on at White Oaks in that phase, there's flow coming to it, and that made them realize that,
Oh, shoot.
yeah, we need to hook this up to the lift station.
Got it, okay.
Right.
And this may be a silly question, but is there any reason that we wouldn't think of going with 12-inch just in case in the future something else got replaced? Or we're talking about $800, so I didn't really understand.
Because all the other lines coming, so the manhole, the line coming to this manhole is already a 10-inch. So there's no reason to put a 12-inch into it, because it's not going to add
We
any.
don't think that ever in the future it's going to.
It's already established.
Not for
10
8 feet.
Right.
Sorry.
but
10
if
meets
we had
the
to replace
standards,
others.
correct?
Right, yeah, and it already does upsize. So it's 8-inch coming in, and then it turns to a 10-inch. So
Okay.
there is already room for some capacity expansion there.
Okay.
And then this part really is relatively short. It's only 80 feet. So if in the future there is expansion, it's most likely going to connect to the 10-inch upstream. So it's
Okay.
going to be a 10-inch going into a 10-inch. They initially put in their bid 12-inch with 88 feet because they're trying to get a bid back quickly to keep the project moving forward. We had Olson, who did the 2022 design work, provide, which is in your packet, a new sheet with upgraded design, and they found the length is only 80 feet and only needed to be 10-inch. So that's where the reduction of that bid came from.
Thank you.
Pam, it's not a stupid question at all. I asked the same thing prior to the meeting, so you're fine. But you understand 12 to 10 to 10, 10 at the bottom,
Yes, I do.
at the
understand
second
that.
one, at the bottom.
Yes.
Yeah, and there's two lines going into this, to the wet well. So there is a 12-inch line coming from the west, and there is more service on that one projected, and then a 10-inch coming from the east. So there's two lines that are out there.
Just knowing what's coming in the future, that's why, what
Correct.
made me ask the question.
Yeah, it's a good question. Any questions for Chris?
I make a motion that we approve the White Oaks Lift Station change order.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the White Oaks lift station change order. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. The next item on the agenda is a presentation regarding the MS4 audit. Chris?
Yes, ma'am. Okay. So on June 12th and 13th of this year, the city of Oak Grove was audited for compliance with our MS4 stormwater permit. The audit focused on 6 key areas, which is public education and outreach, public involvement, illicit discharge detection and elimination, construction site storm runoff control, post-construction stormwater management, and pollution prevention for municipal operations. Overall, the audit was a valuable opportunity to evaluate our strengths and to identify areas where improvements are needed. In response, we are preparing a corrective action plan and making improvements to our documentation practices, especially for inspections, erosion control, and social media updates. All required follow-up documentation and corrective actions will be submitted by December 31st, 2025. There's no action required from the board tonight. This is simply just an informational update, and I will continue to provide progress as reports move forward.
Very good. Good job, Chris.
What's an MS4 permit?
It is the municipal separate storm sewer system.
I mean, obviously.
Well, I mean, it's the.
Thank you.
But that's what
No,
MS4
no, no,
stands
yeah,
for.
just- yeah, I
It
appreciate
is the state required. So Jackson County and other big cities are required to follow a MS4,
Okay.
which is where you monitor your outfall and just make sure the stormwater going into the streams of the state are safe and operational.
Makes sense. Perfect. Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am.
So Chris has just brought this tonight as a presentation to keep you all informed of this audit. But if you have any questions, please feel free to ask at this time.
To be informed of the audit or how they're gonna make audits easier in the future.
Well, to be informed of the audit, he can't control how the audits are, but they can help with the audit itself. When they got wrote up about certain things, then Chris is looking at ways, and city staff is looking at ways to make those things better so that they don't have so many things written up on the audit. Is that helpful?
Perfect, yeah.
Yes. Correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You're actually even started processes already, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
But that'd be interesting to know.
Did I take your words? Okay. Sorry. All right. Anything else? All right. Thank you, Chris.
Yes, ma'am.
The next item on the agenda is information reports. Matt, do you have one?
No report tonight. Thank you, Mayor.
Jackson?
Nothing from me, Mayor.
Thank you. Chief?
No report, Mayor.
Chris?
No, ma'am.
Kim? Scott?
Just a couple things. First, we had the tractor pull last weekend. I'd like to thank all the volunteers that helped with the tractor pull, in particular the scouts. If you're not familiar, they do the parking and then they do the grounds cleanup afterwards. And the work they do is amazing. When we put the arena back together this morning, there was no litter anywhere. So it's an amazing job that they do, and we appreciate it. At the last park board meeting, I discussed the trail extension, and this is from the primary parking lot, parking lots by the primary, that takes you to the T-ball fields. I met with the contractor, looked at the work. I'd like to do that on any construction we do in-house. And long story short, I believe we can potentially bid this work out for the following reasons. The bridge is pretty heavy. Building the piers to hold the bridge is extensive work. And the amount of dirt to move to make the ramp, the sidewalk, pretty level, good for ADA. It needs to be compacted where the asphalt's not going to fail. So there's a lot of pieces of equipment that needs to go into place for that to happen. It would take us a long time. It's not that we couldn't do it. It's just a lot to ask of a small department. So hopefully we'll put it out for bid, see if the numbers come back good, and we're able to move forward. And potentially, if it does come in like I'm estimating, we might even be able to get it paved within that $100,000 that we had for the whole year. So a lot of things have to fall in place for that to work, but that would be the goal, is you'd have a couple things we'd come back with before the year ends to try to get this finished. That's
Very
all I
good.
have.
Thanks, Scott. Rachel?
No report.
Kelly?
Went to the tractor pull. It was awesome. It was a great event. I thought it was well done. So kudos to everyone who helped pull that off. That's all I got.
Shane? report?
Tractor pull was awesome. I went on a 6-hour tour of this beautiful city with Matt over here, and it was super
6 hours?
informative. Yeah, it was awesome.
Oh, my gosh.
I got all the information. I learned about these lifts things. I went
Yes,
through all
lift
of the
things.
police department, and it was
Love it. It's
awesome.
really good.
Learned about everything. Very informative. I want to thank you again for that day.
It's very valuable to do those tours, yes. Tracy?
No report.
Pam?
No report.
I don't have a report either. I'm looking for a motion to adjourn to executive session, please.
Oh, I make a motion, we adjourn to executive session 610.021, 1 and 3.
Second?
We have a motion and a second to adjourn to executive session number 610.021, 1 and 3. Any discussion? If not, City Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Pam Pope,
Yes.
Shane Shawbaker,
Yes.
Rachel Kilmer,
Yes.
Tracy Newcomer,
Yes.
Kelly Netto.
Yes.
We are adjourned to executive session.